Epic. A1.
I think, is that working? Oh yeah, there we go. It's on. It's on. Everything's kind of working. Welcome. Well, this is your project, bro. Talk to me.
All right, so this is the first episode of the Craic Pit podcast, which I don't know how it's going to go and how we'll move forward into the future. But anyway, we've been talking about this shit for a long time. Myself and yourself, Alex, and especially me and a few other mates, Lee, Yevgeny, and a few other people. So this is the start of it. This is going to be episode number 1. And the idea, fully sick. And the idea of the podcast is there's nothing off topic. We're going to talk fitness. We're going to talk mindset. We're going to talk nutrition. We're going to talk acting the maggot. We're going to talk partying. We're going to talk chicks, relationships, fucking depression, anxiety, all of the stuff. Anything that comes to mind. And if people are listening to this, we are open to subjects that they want us maybe to talk about or, offer our opinion, because really that's what it is, us offering up our opinions. And we're all going to be adults about this. We will have differing opinions, and that's okay. That's all right. Different opinions is allowed.
I'm just changing it just because I've been really working on my indoor plant game, and I feel like if you're gonna be an influencer, you need an indoor plant in there. I just need to get my mic in view so I look kind of like, oh look, I'm like a fucking. Check that out.
You're on the job. You're on the job.
I just became a business coach, motherfucker.
Yes, you did. And you've even got books. You need a bookshelf as well. The bookshelf, a plant, a glass of water, and the microphone sticking. All the books are there. Fuck! Look at this. Fully sick.
I'm ready to do this podcast. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I feel like this could be my vlogging background. Anyway.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. So we're going to put this podcast up on YouTube as well as obviously on the podcasting platforms that there's out there. So you have the opportunity to see what we're doing as well. We're going full Joe Rogan on this shit. We don't have a Jamie. You're actually Jamie in all of this because you're the tech fucking nerd of it all. The best tech nerd I know in CrossFit anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's what you've got planned for us today is a list of topics, and one of those things it's going to be talking about self-development. Yes. I've only become more nerdy I feel like COVID's played to my nerd strengths. I've never had really CrossFit strengths, but now I have streaming strength.
Fuck yeah. Well, yeah, you've definitely come up to the what I'm trying to say, come up to the level when it comes to what we're delivering. And I don't know if people know about what we're doing at the moment, myself and yourself, but you've already been streaming stuff for your clients and other people from your gym. Can you tell us about what you've been doing previously before we talk about the virtual Jack and Juicy?
Oh yeah, so I guess when COVID hit, we kind of didn't know what we were doing, and I started doing we wanted to keep everyone moving, but I think part of the problem was that gear was one of those things, and we want to try to include everyone. So we started a virtual HIIT class, and I feel like a lot of online training classes are just people just kind of shouting at each other down on Skype or on Zoom. So I tried to make it a little bit more special. So we started putting in more progress bars and movement demos, and it's an interesting one. I think it can be when we do these exercise classes, when you're doing a movement, there's 3 different movements on the screen that you can watch, because one of the things I always found with coaching was you don't know who doesn't want to ask you a question. So with this kind of style where there's 3 versions of the movement, beginner, easy, hard, people don't have to ask you that question, and it looks fucking cool as shit. So you're working out and it's like a Street Fighter game because there's a progress bar, and then there's movement demos, and sick. But yeah, so we're starting to get we got featured on ABC Radio. You got featured on ABC Radio as well. We're practically famous. We're so famous, and we've gone international, and now now we're starting our next media thing, which is a podcast. I think we've started a lot of I've started a few podcasts and not really. I've got to about episode 4, so but you've got more sticking power than me, so I'm expecting great things.
Giddy up. Well, let's see how it goes. It's particularly myself and yourself have been speaking about this for a long time, and other mates of mine, and then people. I do this daily video called the Daily Craic, which is, it only really allows me to talk it's a live video on Facebook, allows me to talk for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, because you don't really want to go any longer than that because people lose interest. But people are into podcasting now, and I know I have a lot of shit to say, whether people want to hear it or not, but I find sometimes my Daily Craic videos are almost like therapy. You just get to blurt out what's on your mind, or if there's questions being asked from people that, your previous clients, you get to answer those questions. But obviously, like you were just saying, if people have questions regarding the workout, well, what movement should I do here? Well, whatever the question is regarding fitness, you can answer it, because other people are probably thinking the same thing or wondering the same thing. So you put it out on social media and people like it, they like it. And going on a podcast allows us to shit talk for longer and probably dig into more subject matter even deeper.
Yeah, and I just like the sound of your voice.
I like yours too, Alex.
Thanks, mate. I just listen, I'm like, what the fuck's he talking about today? And I'm always very impressed at the stuff you talk about. It's you're very natural.
You reckon?
Yeah, I try to find out I'm like, every time I watch one of your daily cracks, I'm like, yep, I'm going to do like the daily Cheong. And then I'm like, I get ready, I'm like, all right. And I've been wanting to do one for the last probably 2 weeks since I started doing all this ruck walking stuff that we can talk about later if you want. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk about ruck walking. I'm going to talk about, and then I'm like, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck it, I haven't done it. And like, I feel like I don't have good stuff to say. But now that I have a plant in the background, I might have to crack from the plant all day long. But anyway, I'm always really impressed with the stuff that you come up with. But what did you want to talk about today, bro? What did you want to talk about today?
Yeah, well, I think myself and yourself. Here, we'll talk about our backgrounds first in the fitness industry, because I want to talk about the impact of what's going on currently, this COVID-19, on the fitness industry, and both of us have been affected greatly. So just give us your little bit of a background on how long you've been in the fitness industry and where you are now.
So I guess I've been in the fitness industry all my life. Not really. I guess I was in advertising about 10 years ago, and then I was spending a lot of time kind of training people at the gym, so I decided to come back to Melbourne and come to Melbourne and open a gym with my cousin Ben. Those guys that I think at the start of CrossFit you had people who were like doing the CrossFit level 1 course and then opening a gym. That me.
Me too, brother. Me fucking too.
I wasn't that bad. Like I did the CrossFit level 1 course. I started like just geeking out on all the strength and conditioning stuff. I interned for like two years at CrossFit London, CrossFit London at the time, and I just realized I was spending like way more time like just trying to geek out on all the CrossFit stuff that I could. Like I was working with like Olympic coaches who were CrossFit coaches at the time as well, and came back to Melbourne and started the gym and kind of just have been fumbling my way through it. And then just before COVID hit, we're getting pretty good. Like we opened a second gym, then we closed the second gym, learned some mistakes there. When COVID was hitting, we were just kind of like just pulling ourselves out of that rut of closing that second gym. And then it hit us. Bang! And since then, I've just kind of been, the first time we got locked down was a bit of, it was pretty stressful. The second time we got locked down, I was like, yeah, whatever. But I definitely didn't think that we'd be locked down for this long. So, but that's the background. Like, I mean, I guess on the benefits of that is I've become super geek. Not that I wasn't super geek before, but I've definitely learned a lot of stuff. And, we've spent a lot of time setting ourselves up for when COVID, when we're allowed to open again, and I'm pretty excited on the stuff we have coming up, because we've pretty much, because we had nothing else to do, we have planned the whole year of training. Like, we've programmed it with coach's notes, movement standards, straight arm, bent arm. Like, it is I've got to show you, man. This spreadsheet is like amazing, and it's a whole year of programming, and I've never done that. Like, you'd think after 7 years, you'd at least collect all your programming, but this is like the culmination of my 7 years. Like, I've had time to sit down and go, well, this is what I want out of training, and it's really exciting. Like, I'll show you the secret spreadsheet, and you'll be like, oh yeah, and you can edit it and stuff. It's cool.
Good man.
That's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
Man. And you also, you got a community started here in Australia. You were the one that started up the Australian CrossFit page. CrossFit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's another claim to fame.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there was a UK CrossFitters page, which was really big, and I was like, oh, how's there no Australian CrossFitters page? Started that up, and now we moderate it loosely.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
But there's like,
the only time
that's the goal.
Oh no, I was gonna say the only time we had to seriously moderate it was that time when Greg Glassman was being all dodgy.
Yeah.
Not that like,
not that you need.
Yeah, not that like you needed another kick in the dick while your gym was closed, but having a misconstrued CEO wasn't super helpful at the time. But we got through that.
Yeah. No, I know. Fucking, we've gone through some funky times with CrossFit. Like, it's had its ups and downs, and it's I don't know where it is at the moment. Greg Glassman is gone now, and there's this new owner that's taken over, and he is a CrossFit evangelist. He's just like he's sick for it. Like, so I don't know. I think it could be a really good thing, but.
Were you on that call? Were you on the call?
Yes, I was. Yeah. But he was there for a half an hour, and I'm just like shite talked for a fucking.
Yeah, but my brain was blown, bro. After that half an hour, I was like, this guy. Like, I wish we had Eric. Fucking 5 years ago. Like, can you imagine where we'd be now? Like, yeah, true. It would be like, we went through that F45 thing where F45, we're like, nah, F45 is full of shit, and then they were shit talking us, and then now they're everywhere. Like, I feel like if we had that Eric guy back then, he'd just been like, fuck you guys. When CrossFit removed their marketing the media team, like, we had all this free advertising and that they would produce, and really good quality, like, marketing stuff. They produced the documentaries that would go up on Netflix. Like, how many documentaries were on Netflix, are still on Netflix, about CrossFit, the CrossFit Games, and all these random people who would never have known of CrossFit actually watch these kind of well put together documentaries, and then they start knocking at your door, and all that shit just evaporated away, and then it became, well, CrossFit, if you're a gym owner, now you're on your own, paddle your own canoe. And I think our affiliation fee, not that it's a massive fee each year, but that's what we were getting from CrossFit. We didn't get much other stuff. We got their ability to produce this really good marketing material, put it out to the world, then us being affiliated with them, we reaped the benefits. But then that went away, and then what? Then what were we left with? Like, I was, yeah, exactly. Like, I was okay with all that stuff. Like, it was just kind of like, whatever, they let us do our thing. And, everyone was like, all the owners that were like bitching and moaning about that, I was like, whatever. Like, we're allowed to do our own shit. But now, after that convo, I was like, re-inspired. But I can't go into my gym, so.
I know.
Anyway, so you asked about me, bro. What's your background? I don't know your background, bro. I'm like, I hardly know you.
Yeah. Well, first of all, me and Alex have known each other for fucking years. Alex owns his CrossFit gym in West Melbourne. And I own a CrossFit gym in Williamstown, which is West Melbourne as well. But yeah, I came out to Australia in 2009. I've probably got into the fitness industry maybe 2 or 3 years before that, back in Ireland, but that was at the start of a recession. So I ended up working on cruise ships for a little while, where I got kind of more exposed to CrossFit, sailing up and down the west coast. yeah, West Coast of America, LA and whatnot. So when we'd have passengers coming on the gym talking about CrossFit. I'm like, this fucking CrossFit thing, what is it? What's going on here?
Oh,
so
the heyday, the golden days.
The golden day when CrossFit.com had all this material on there, like videos and, you know, a huge amount of learning material basically. So that's where I got kind of introduced to it from, like, on cruise ships. Then off cruise ships, made enough money to leave Ireland because it was in the height of the recession, the start of a recession. Came to Australia, and I moved to Altona when I came out here first. Now that was a fucking shock because I
was thinking like the West was like no one liked the West, but now it's like starting to get gentrified and stuff. So we were like, because when I came here, I was like, people were like, oh, why the fuck are you opening in West Melbourne? I was like, because it's fucking close to the city.
Yes, I know.
But yeah.
I know. Most Irish people, when they land to Australia, land to Melbourne, go to St Kilda over the eastern suburbs, and that's where they stay and party and hang out with all the other Irish people. But my friend lived over here in Altona because he was kind of settled down. He had a missus and whatever. So I was driving from the airport through all these refineries and swamps and marshlands, and I was like, where the fuck are we going? Like, and then I seen these black swans. I was like, oh, I don't know where I've landed, but this ain't right. Where the fuck is Crocodile Dundee? Where the fuck is that big knife? Where the fuck is all the crocodiles? Like, you know, it was weird. But anyway, it was what it was. So I got stationed over here in the West, and I started working pretty much immediately in Westgate Health and Fitness Centre, which was a small private, not small, big private gym over here in the West as well.
Is that the location? Is that your gym now? Is that the same location? Or?
It's not the same location, but it's the reason for the name. So my gym is called CrossFit Westgate, but I started working in Westgate Health and Fitness Centre, which was just a massive global gym. But back in the day, it was the mecca of bodybuilding here in Melbourne. Arnold Schwarzenegger was at that gym. Like my boss or my manager there, Trevor Kneebone, he picked Arnold Schwarzenegger up from the airport in the 80s when they came out here to do the Olympia shows and all that sort of stuff, and he had him training in that gym. So that gym was that, like, back in the day, it was iconic, but when I got there, it was like a little bit run down and, you know, not much happening there. Still the old school bodybuilders with the vests with the small strings just barely covering their nipples, like all that shit was there. And this was kind of new to me because back in Ireland, like, you have gyms, but not 10 years ago, not gyms like that, like old school weights and fucking.
Was that the one where you like when you walk in and there's just like fucking frames, like heaps of frames of just dudes with like skin that's like paper thin, just like jacked up, and there's like a sign on the door going, please don't use syringes in the toilet and shave yourself. Not that one. I've been to gyms like that. It's pretty funny.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It had all that. Except the frames. It was just raw and old school. Like,
I think that's what the government thinks gyms are still.
There.
Oh, sorry, bro. I think that's what governments think gyms are right now. Hello? Oh. Uh-oh. I think that's what governments must think gyms are right now. Oh. We froze there for a minute. The technical issues what we're doing, I don't have the... I think so. I think they think everyone's just going in, just sweating on equipment and fucking, and it's all old school and no one's putting their weights away and no one's keeping stuff clean. I really think that's what they think as well. But, yeah. Can you hear me, Alex? Yeah, perfect. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
I can. Hello. Yeah, you can hear me. Your screen is frozen there. Technical issues. But anyway, yes. So I started working in that gym, and the manager there, Trevor Kneebone, bit of a legend of a man. I was talking to him about setting up this CrossFit thing, and he was like, "Yeah, fucking go for it." So I kind of set up this boot camp, got a few classes going, and then just evolved it into CrossFit. And that I became affiliated with CrossFit in 2011. And it grew from there. Was working in that gym. I had a little bit of an area rented out, and built up my CrossFit facility. Then it went from there to a warehouse location. I think that was in 2014. We moved into a warehouse, and it was just a small warehouse, a means to an end, or ways to get it started. And within 6 months, we blew up. And I had to, at the time when I think back now, or think back to moving, we moved into a bigger facility probably sooner than we actually needed to. But because I had already the warehouse that we'd moved into, I had a bit of negotiation power. So I think they wanted like X amount of money, and I said, well, I can't offer that. This is what I can offer. And the real estate guy was pretty much like, no, this ain't going to work. And I was like, well, that's it. Don't worry about it. So we're walking out of the new facility, and he turned around to me. He was like, if you sign paperwork tonight, could you get me a deposit? I was like, yeah, I reckon I can. So actually, Lauren Lord was there with me that day, and I was like, okay, hold on, this is actually happening now. So the gym I currently have right now, it's actually on a flip of a coin. The decision to take the bigger gym or not came down to flipping a fucking coin. Because I was like, oh, fuck, this is real right now. This is actually happening. So the guy was going to agree to the price. So I was like, okay, give me 2 minutes. So I was like, Lauren, what should I do? She's like, oh, I don't know. It's your decision. I was like, right, fucking coin. Here we go. Put the coin on my hand. Flick, bang. Heads, I do it. Tails, I don't. Fucking heads. We're doing this shit. So that was it then. That was the current location that we have is where we are today. Was
Luck of the Irish.
Fucking flip of a coin, man. Flip of a fucking coin. So yeah, that's where we are now. It's a bigger facility. It's not huge, but it's definitely a bigger facility. And yeah, just that's where it all kind of began. So been running CrossFit since 2011 over here, and have loved it, but I've definitely changed the way we do things. You know, you come to our gym now, and you know, you look back at the way we were training maybe back in those early years, it's very different now. Very different. You know? So, yeah, that's my origin story.
Mate, and what an origin it was. Ben Pooney.
That's right. The group of us as well. Yeah, Ben Poon, Luke Anderson. Matt. What was Matt Scottsdale? I think it was.
I love that guy. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy. That guy was the best. I used to always see him at comps, and I would just be like, Matt, you're a good dude. And then they just disappeared. Like, everyone's just been like dropping off.
Yeah. The group of us that were over here in the West at the start has really diminished. There's other CrossFit gyms popped up here and there, but you know, there's.
Who knew that we would become the OGs? The OG. Well,
what the fuck, like?
I remember when we started, there was like Schwartz, Richmond, and they were like I think maybe St Kilda were kind of like pretty OG. There was CBD, and then everyone else had just kind of started, and it was just this glut of the new people.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And those were the granddaddies. Like, you know, you looked at them for your inspiration. I done my level 1 CrossFit at Schwartz's, and when I had to repeat the level 1 after the 5 years, I done it at Richmond. So it's like I looked at those gyms and was like, that's how a CrossFit gym is run. That's the business model right there.
I'm pretty sure my welcome email is just copied from CrossFit Richmond. Thanks. It probably still is, like Adam and Kath. Like, my terms and conditions are probably still Adam and Kath's terms and conditions. Or everyone's got that same waiver. Everyone's got that same waiver that you've got to sign like fucking a million times. That was from like CrossFit from Brisbane or something.
Yeah, and the little line about a fucking rhabdomyolysis on my license.
Yeah.
People are like, what's this? Oh, this is when you train too hard, you might die. Just so you know.
Yeah, and they're like, wow, you guys train hardcore. You're like, yeah, get in here. Yeah. Join our gym, motherfucker.
Oh, stop.
Oh, how times have changed.
Have changed. So changed. Like, I know there's still people out there that are still gyms that run out there are very much on the original CrossFit thing, because there is still a lot of people that want to be competitive in CrossFit, but you can't be randomized anymore. You can't, like, it can't be just, oh, one day we're doing deadlifts and tomorrow we're going to do 5Ks and then the next day we're going to do muscle ups. You know, it's like, it can't be that randomized anymore. It has to be somewhat specific to achieving a certain thing. But here, that's another conversation on program for another day.
Oh,
I don't know.
wow. That is another conversation.
It's a wormhole. I like fuck that for a conversation. Everyone's programming is the best. That's the most important thing. Whatever you do, it's the best. It's better than everyone else's. Happy days. Job done. Finished. So anyway, the impact COVID-19. I'm spitting at my laptop. The impact COVID-19 has had on your business.
Well, I couldn't. The first lockdown happened, and I kind of don't know if I made the right decision. But the first lockdown happened, and I was really anxious. Like, I was like, fuck, I have to look after my coaches, I have to look after my members, and I was like, there was that concern, like, oh, I can't, like, how long can I keep an online business open when these guys are paying for coaching, and like, all they're paying to come into the gym, rah. And I actually made it onto Remy's, remember Remy, like there's a business coach called Remy that everyone, that's quite popular. And he was talking to me and he was going, oh, I actually made it to one of his bad examples of a gym owner. Cause what happened was I was anxious as fuck. Like, I couldn't sleep. I had all this, like, I was like, people are going to leave and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, and then like 2 weeks in, I was trying to look after the coaches, and I realized that, all the government subsidies kind of came in and we kind of had an idea of how long we could stay open for. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to shut all the, I'm just going to put pause on all the memberships and go to equipment rental. So I know that I was giving back something. So that's how I made it onto Remy's email, because Remy was like, oh, I'm not doing this gym owner. And he just shut everything down. I was like, because I couldn't sleep. I was fucked up, man. Like, I couldn't sleep. Like, I'd wake up in the middle, like, I'd go to sleep just thinking, like, I couldn't, like, anyway, so for my own mental health, I just closed everything. I said, hey, you guys take the equipment, and that's how we're going to roll. And I always assumed that it'd only be like 3 months. I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then because of that, I guess I, went into all that streaming stuff, but because I closed everything off, I felt like I wasn't kind of bound to doing this kind of class structure, which was like trying to mimic what I was doing. So I was like, look, I'll just do one class a day, because I reckon that it was really important to get that accountability of people wanting to train. And then I switched, and because we weren't doing CrossFit, I didn't feel that pressure. So we just did like body weight hit stuff. And yeah, that for me was it was almost like quite cathartic, because I just let go of the whole CrossFit thing. And it made me realize that, just the benefits of online, like how online there's still that part of being accountable, but then there's also that, there's the fact that you don't have to work to a schedule. Every class can reach another audience. They can replay it at different times. It made me really opened my brain about online. So that's like a benefit. But I guess the negative is that we haven't been able to open our gym. There's still a part of me that feels like I let down my members a little bit, because I just kind of said, be free. And part of it was like I was making heaps of videos, and this is just this is like a little message to every fucking member of the gym. If a gym owner makes a video and he spends a lot of time on it, just press that like button. Just press that motherfucking like button.
Amen to that.
Just give it a little comment. Because I was like, I was doing all this content at the start, and I was meeting up with members, and I was like, it was good. Like, it was good for me because I got to train every day, and I met up with a different member before stage 4, and I'd make these workouts. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it all about the community, and like no one would do the workouts, and I was like, fuck this. Like, and then so closed it. But I was like, yeah. So if you are at a gym and they're making content, you just even if you don't watch it, like Loz doesn't, like Loz, my partner, doesn't watch any of my videos. I'm like, I was like, what did you think of that? She's like, what? I'm like, you fucking liked the video. She's like, oh no, I don't watch your videos. I don't watch your shit. And yeah. So, but on the back of that, it made me it opened my mind and opened my I was almost like Neo in the Matrix. I'm like, oh, this is how online can work. I can still hold people accountable. I can still engage with them, and I feel I've got this platform that's pretty fucking epic. Like, I feel like I could put it across anything right now. Like, we've started doing kind of corporate training sessions that are body weight based. It's not like I'm making millions, but I feel like I've made incremental money on top of what I would have done if I'd still be trying to grind out. If COVID hadn't hit, I reckon I'd still be trying to grind out memberships, still trying to, call people, being like, hey, how are you? And I'll go back to that because I really love the community aspect of training. Like, I don't think people come to us for programming. Like you said, our programming isn't shit, but it's not like, I'm not going to create world-class athletes, but people don't have the commitment levels to, as long as it's fun, it gets you kind of strong, and you can, touch a few elbows and toes at the end of it, you're all good. Like, that's my programming philosophy, right? Like, make it fun, get everyone together, and get some good results on the back of it. Mm-hmm. But, so it just opened my mind to that shit, That's what COVID did to me.
That's quite the positive.
Like my videos. Yeah. Like our videos. If you're watching now, just give us a like.
Exactly. And his videos are good. Very good. Better than fucking very good.
They were. I don't make them anymore because I'm too jaded.
I know.
And there's these really good videos called Craic videos. The daily Craic videos. They're just so real. They're so real. My ones are just like, I've got no advice. Let's go do a workout.
Well, there's no editing value to mine at all. It's just live and then go. That's all it is. But
hey, Carla says she loves this.
Oh, fantastic! Hey, we've got to tell her to like the video.
Yeah, like the video, Carla. Like it. We've also got 0 live viewers now as well. We went from 5 live viewers to 0. I think I started doing my sob story and they were like, "Fuck this guy." Cheong is bitching and moaning again. Unlike.
Yeah. Fuck it. If that's the way they are, fuck them. Yeah. Well, for myself, the crack has been similar. Like, obviously, I'm very unsure. Like, never had to shut the gym down before, and people are kind of. You had all your members, or I had all my members going, "Oh, so what's going to happen here?" I'm like, I have no idea. But then people are like, oh, would you hire out your equipment? And I'm like, a little bit of me was like, no fucking way. It's my fucking equipment. I'm not fucking giving it to you. But then I'm like, well, okay, maybe I'm going to have to here, because how else am I going to make money? How else am I going to fucking survive over the next fucking however long this is going to go? So no real plan went into place the first lockdown. I was just like, a few people asked me, could they hire equipment? And then I just went on public with it on social media and on our private group, said, yes, I'm going to hire out my gym equipment. But like, the first time I done it, I've probably done it arseways. I just let people go in and take what they want, and then just reduce their membership, their from whatever they were paying a week down to a gym hire membership. So I think it was like $40 a week, and that allows you to follow the program and have equipment. But then I was having like members only taking like rubber bands and a dumbbell, and then I was having members like kit their whole fucking garage out with everything. Oh, can I take a rower? Can I take this? Can I take that? I'm like, oh, okay. So like, we probably had about 20 people hire equipment, which was enough to keep me afloat, and then everyone else reduced right down their membership to a basic following online programming membership, and it was grand. But I had me and my coaches. I kept my coaches employed as well. We were doing these basically we'd program for 6 days of the week, and it was me, Johnny, and Naomi. I'd program 2 days and do videos for those 2 days. So you'd video a warm-up, you'd video the strength work, you'd video a workout. And then I'd get Johnny and Naomi to do the exact same thing. So we're taking it in turns. And when I look back at the insights on my Facebook page to who was actually watching this video, it was fucking none. There was like 1 or 2 people watching.
Don't look at the insights. Don't look at the insights.
Fuck. I was like, we're putting in all that. And to make a video was taking 2 to 3 hours, because we ain't fucking as good as you are when it comes to that video editing stuff. And it was time consuming, and it was hard. But then no one was watching it, so we're like, fuck this shit. Anyway, the idea I was had in my head at the start of all this was like, okay, let's go online. Okay, this is something I've been thinking about exploring for a while. Let's take this shit online. But how? So I came up with my Jacked and Juicy program, which was a bodybuilding type thing where it was just 6 weeks for, or was that the start? No, that was the start of the second one. Sorry, the Jacked and Juicy didn't happen yet, but I was thinking about, okay, I want to go online. But because we had got an in date to when the gyms could open back up again, nothing materialized with the online stuff. So I didn't worry about it. Then, reopening for that 2.5 weeks. Number one, I had to get all my equipment back. 2, decided to put in shitload more CrossFit sessions. So there was like...
that's so funny, man.
Yeah.
When you're like, I'm going to do like 8 classes, I was like, fuck that.
What a dickhead. What a dickhead. Because we did, and that was between three of us, like 3 coaches, myself and Johnny and Naomi. Now, the 2.5 weeks we were open for wrecked me. It wrecked me. Like at the end of the, I think week 1, I think myself and yourself and a few others were like, oh, let's celebrate when we reopened. I couldn't. I was fucked. Like I was there early in the morning. I had to be there late till night because all these new people were wanting to join up and everything. So I was burning candles at both ends and in the fucking middle. And it wrecked me. And then, when the second lockdown came in, it was almost a relief because I was like, this shit was not going to be, how am I going to do this? How am I going to run a business like this? How am I going to run 8 sessions a day and be this fucked at the end of each week? And I like to party as well. How am I going to fit my partying in with all of this? It was not sustainable. So we got locked down again. And I was like, fuck, here we go again. This is bullshit. Like a little bit relieved, but a little bit like, what the fuck? And now there was no end in sight to when we were going to open back up. So I hired out all my equipment again. However, I put a limit on the number of things people could take, which allowed me to hire out to 30 people, which gave me a little bit more income, which was much better. And then I went down the road of going the online Jacked and Juicy thing. So done this online program that I done videos for. Basically, it's the training program I was doing. So on a daily basis, I'd video my shit and I'd post it up so people could see movement standards and all that sort of shit. And I got a bit of traction. People were like, "Oh, this is good. Looking forward to it. Like enjoying it. Blah 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 blah." But I was like, how do I make money from this? Because that was kind of my trial. I'm putting this free program out there to see what happens to it, and then I have I had my virtual assistant. I was like, okay, I want to make Jacked and Juicy 2.0, which will be the next 6-week program, and I want to
We love your virtual assistant. She's amazing.
She's amazing.
Jam is the bomb. Jam is the bomb.
She's the tits, and I'm not
shout out to
talking about
Jam.
Tits. Yeah, and she's from the Philippines. She looks after all these other CrossFit owners and does their content. She is fucking awesome. Anyway. So I started talking to her about how can I package this up in a nice, like you basically put the ribbon on the box as a present. How do I make it look nice? And she's like, well, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to go online. She's like, oh, I know this company in the States where they're helping gym owners move from bricks and mortar to the online space. I was like, fucking hook me up. So she did, and they're called Authentic Attraction, and I enrolled in their online course, which is through Facebook. And by God, they showed me the light.
Bro, I thought you were a lunatic when you told me that. You were like, I've just spent, X amount of dollars. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, I know.
And then when you started getting clients, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. So I have paid for the course now with the clients I've made. Now, I'm only 4 or 5 weeks into the course of a 12-week course. And from the help I've got from them, I've managed to set up my own online program, and as of yesterday, I have now 17 people in that online program. Where I charge for an 8-week program, I'm charging to be part of the group or for one-on-one training. And it's as they say, a high ticket price, but it's for 8 weeks, and what I'm helping people with is weight loss. Keeping them accountable, and it's just 2 simple steps: make them track their calories and do 10,000 steps. I've given away my process to the world for free. There you go.
Yeah, you do a lot more on that group though. You do quite a bit more in that group. Yeah.
But the simple thing I do in that group is I keep people accountable. And I have the weirdest thing that has happened is I've seen more results from my clients online in just a couple of weeks than I feel I've ever seen in 10 years of running a CrossFit gym.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's like when we do open up again, like what I'm doing online is going to be integrated into how I run my gym, 100%. Because I have contact with these people on a 24-hour basis if I need to. You know, people can post in this group and I can just hop my phone out and be like, oh, well done, you're doing good. Oh, maybe try this, maybe try that. It's fucking simple. Whereas
that group you've got is so good. What I was gonna say, that group you've got is so good. People like posting on it and shit, and like, I'm like, man, I wish people on my group posted. Like, no one posts on my group. I'm like, is it me? Is it me? Like, how do I get people? Like, your guys are engaged, man. They're loving it.
Yeah, but I make that the rules. You know, it's almost like a disqualification process to be part of the group. I said it's 2 non-negotiables. You have to track your calories and you have to do your steps. If you're not willing to do that, you're not in the group. And once you're in the group, you have to engage. We're here to support one another. Don't be relying just on me. Help each other out. And it's going off. Like I might have to. I go training and I'm away from my phone for 2 hours. And when I come back, they're answering each other's questions, helping each other out. Like the accountability within the group itself is amazing.
Yeah, it's real good.
It's unbelievable. And you get that. Listen, the bricks and mortar gym facility, whatnot, it still has a lot of merit because it helps people detach from the stresses of their daily lives for that 1 hour a day. That the mum that wants to get away from their kids, the partner that fucking just needs a break. You know, the people that have a high stressful jobs can come along to a gym, just lash it out for an hour, meet up with a group, especially in CrossFit gyms, like meet up with a like-minded group of individuals and just fucking shoot the shit. So in the future, my bricks and mortar is a social club. You know, but the accountability.
I thought it was a rave cave.
Well, it is. Yeah, once a year we turn it into a rave cave, but that's okay. But moving forward, I understand that the results don't come from people getting a faster Fran time or getting the heaviest clean and jerk in the gym. That's not where the results are. That's cool stuff, and that's very tangible. But it's going to come down to the accountability. Like, what are you doing outside the gym for the 23 hours that you're not in the gym? What the fuck else are you doing? You know, so if people are on a weight loss journey or weight gain journey, trying to look good naked, I think that's the fucking point that everyone's trying to get to. You know, what are you doing outside the gym? How can we integrate the online stuff into the bricks and mortar stuff? So that's what COVID has done for me.
Yeah, mate, COVID is like, you're the dude that I talk about. I'm like, fuck, you're the dude that I talk about of someone who's thrived off COVID and who's just like, keeping going. Like, I'm like, is Damo going to reopen? Like, because he's crushing it, So if CrossFit Westgate opens, it's your choice. You want it to, there's a place for it in your mind. If like money was the only thing, I'd be like, fuck, I ain't opening again. You don't have the liability of a lease. You don't have to, worry about memberships again.
Man,
and you get people results, and you get people results. Like, that's the, if there was one thing that one of my pet peeves I had about opening a gym was, you think your programming is gonna fucking change the world, and you still got to call people up, after 2 weeks and be like, oh, why are you training, rah rah, and they're like, it's fuck, it's like, I think part of it is like, if let's say 100% of people that I worked with would get results. Like, I would fucking wake up in the morning, 4 o'clock, work 12-hour days, go to sleep at night, and I'd be fine. But when you're doing those hours and you're not being able to help people, you kind of start looking at yourself and go, what is the system that I'm not doing that's not getting X amount of people these results? So, and it's. A lot of it is down to what you're talking about, that accountability, that nutrition. And we started putting a lot of that stuff into our program, but like pre-COVID. And because Remy said to me, man, he was like, he was a big catalyst for it, actually. I never did a program, but he was like, so talk to me, like, when can you get people results? I was like, all right, we get people results when they do our program and they do nutrition. They're like, why isn't everyone doing nutrition? And I was like, oh, and so I just started making everyone do nutrition, and it was like that. I think that's why we started growing again, because people were starting to get that results. But in COVID,
Yeah, I know, man.
COVID in the balls. Oh.
Well, I went through that stage when things were, especially the second time, like, am I going to have to turn my back on this fitness industry and go find an essential job? Like, is it like fireys, be a cop, be a nurse, be a doctor, fucking push a wheelbarrow? I'm like, fuck. And that was, the fact that I felt like I lost my purpose.
Yep.
That was a hard pill to swallow. And I was like, fuck, something has to happen here. So, and yeah, listen, I could tell by your face when I told you I invested, like, I spent 10 grand on this course. I could see by your face, you're like, what has this dickhead done? But fuck it, like, I was desperate. And the last time I invested in a business coaching was with the Affiliate Solution. And Scott Wade came out and he turned my fucking gym around. So I will always now invest in, like, because you can go on like, all the information is out there, but how do you fucking implement it? It's the same. It's the exact same as what I'm doing now. Like, all the information I'm giving people is already out there on the internet, but people need to be held by the hand and led through it. And I'm the perfect example of that. I can't do it just give me the information and, okay, go yourself. No. I need to be guided.
Yeah. Sick. I like it, man. What's your next topic? What's the next topic on the next Craic and Cheong?
I was going to say the future of the fitness industry.
Ooh.
What do you think?
You answer first, because I don't know, man. Like, I think it's going to be really clean. How good is that? How clean are our gyms?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think gyms aren't going to be the same for a long time. We ain't going to be able to operate the way we would have in January and February this year for fucking 3-4 fucking, I don't know how many years. It's going to be very tricky. So the way I've already started thinking about my new business model moving forward. But listen, how many people are now conditioned to, or enjoying, not everyone, but how many people are enjoying training at home? How many people have created home gyms now? How many people are following fucking Center 6, that fucking Chris Hemsworth fucking app? People are following our shit online, just doing 20-minute workouts at home. People are going to realize that they can save time and do smaller, shorter workouts at home rather than having a gym. There'll always be the diehards that like the fucking, the social aspect of going to the gym, 100%. But I think the future, the fitness industry is going to be very different, very virtual, very appy.
Yeah, I think most gyms have to have a virtual component to this. Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like, contrary to kind of the popular belief in the government right now, where everyone goes in and starts spitting on each other, you probably, everyone goes in, they wear a mask, they do some heavy ass lifting, they do some functional bodybuilding, and then they go home and they do that Metcon stuff at home,
Yes.
And that's something that it's probably going to run through when the gym reopens, is that there's that body weight conditioning stuff that can be done at home. There's the strength work can be done in the gym. And then maybe, and this isn't to say you negate the Metcon, but maybe you have one special day where people come and they just bang fucking steel, and at their special classes, like you have bang steel days, bang steel Saturdays, and they're like 6 to a class. Everyone's got their fucking bubble wrap around them. They've got their hazmat suits on, and you're like, let's fucking go. And we all look back. We all look back at COVID, and we're like, those guys were disgusting. When we had we're sweating, we had our nips out. Like, everyone's disgusting, and you're like, I can't believe that they used to exercise inside. Those disgusting people. I like, that's genuinely what I've looked at. Like, I've looked at it, and I'm like, we still do strength. We can still do strength. We don't have to be like, I'll probably have to stop that. I'm always like, guys, it's time to do back squats, but before you do your back squats, just give the little barbell a lick. Give it a little pash. Give the plates a little pash. Yeah, I'll have to stop that. But apart from that, you know, we can probably still go in and work safely in COVID, get real strong, get real jacked up, and then go do that sweaty stuff outside, which is, you know, makes sense. Like, it should probably always have been that way.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be fucking outside, you know. How many people are like using walking and running as their exercise? Do you know what? Moving forward, I'm banning cardio in my gym.
I'm banning cardio. I want to ban cardio too.
Yeah, because do you know what? It's for free. You can get your cardio for free. You use the 2 pins that are coming out of your hips to move yourself around at different speeds, and it's for free.
We should start a new gym called Ban Cardio Fit. Ban Cardio.
Yeah, or fuck cardio.
That's the new gym name. That's my new gym name.
Yeah,
fuck cardio.
like, you know, if people going to a gym like this is a pet peeve. People going to a gym to run on a treadmill, and that's the only thing they do. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Fuck me. You're paying to go inside to run on a fucking conveyor belt in the same spot for 20 fucking minutes. What is wrong with you?
So lame.
Fuck that shit.
Do you know what I do? Like, one thing that I think will massively change in the gym when we get back, like real fitness, like sandbags, tire pulls,
Yep.
like. I love barbells, but like I just got shout out to Ben Breen and Manta training, Manta sandbags. But I've been playing with sandbags for the last like probably month, and it's the bomb. Like, it's so good. Like, you realize how fun grip is, and yeah, I want to put little. I want the gym more to be like this repository of cool shit. So people will come in the morning, they'll get their weight vest or their ruck back, and they'll do like an hour fucking 30 kilo weight vest walk, and then they'll come back, they'll stick the shit back, and the gym is just this hub where you come, you do your exercise, maybe you do it in the gym, maybe you do it outside of the gym, then you come back, you have coffee in your fucking sterilized cups, and then you fuck off for the day. But you know, it's not always centralized around this class model. Like, I'm definitely going to make it more of this like equipment rental is kind of something which I think will be a big feature of where I am going forward, you know. But yeah, that's the future in my mind.
Yeah, they do all the cool shit.
Yeah.
Because like we've said, people are setting up their home gyms, so people are going to have their squat rack, and they're going to be doing their bench press and all that sort of shit at home. But if we can offer like the funky shit, like the rope climbs, the yoke carries, the sandbags are the tits. Every time you pick up a sandbag, every time you pick it up, you're picking it up a different way. You're being challenged in a different way. A fucking barbell is fucking boring.
Dude, legit. Like, I love the sandbag, bro. I love it. It's so good. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, I'm looking forward to, yeah. I'm gonna see what else you asked me.
Yeah.
What else did you ask me?
What do you think? What the gym, the personal growth, gym industry? We've adapted online. Yeah, we've done that. Fun shit. Fun shit. Yeah, fun. What are you doing for fun right now during lockdown and COVID? What's the fun stuff you're doing?
Oh, mate, my fun stuff's weird. Like, it's weird. Like, so I still wake up at 5 a.m, and my fun things are just listening to audiobooks. But in the morning, I'll put on a 30 kilo weight vest and I'll go for a walk around Docklands. And I'll at the moment, my personal development book for the day is Tribe of Mentors. So I'm listening to that in the morning, and in the evening I'll go for another walk, and it's without a weight vest, and it's with the dogs. And I'm listening to like sci-fi books. So I'm listening to a book called Red Rising, which is by Chris Pierce, and it's like Hunger Games mixed with Terminator and mixed with like Greek mythology. And I really look forward to it because it's epic. And I just go for a walk, and like, so, you know, probably crushing about like since we're allowed 2 hours, I'm probably like crushing 2 hours of walking, 1 hour of ruck walking, 1 hour of and it's just nice because I'm like really looking forward to find out what happens in the book. But yeah, it's so good. It's a really good book. Like, that's what I'm doing for fun. Like, it's pretty boring, but it's fun. It's kind of like, and I've got my route mapped out. Like I've always walked the same route, because I find if I walk a different route in the ruck walk, my shoulders hurt more. I don't know why. Like, it's mentally harder to deal with. But yeah, that's my fun, bro. What's your fun?
Well, a lot of my time at the moment is consumed with like learning how to go online, like that. Take what I'm doing online and make money online and stuff like that. So that's always fun. But
money's fun, bro.
Yeah, I know it allows you to do things, and at the moment I can't do the things I want to do, so I'm saving up so much money to go to the strippers. So much money. Will we ever be able to go to the strippers again? When will that happen?
You've never been able to really touch, so I feel like they'll be one of the first industries to open before us.
It's not touching, but it's like very, very within that. You're within that 1.5 meter radius, like. Yeah, like I don't know. That's one of my favorite things to do at the weekend. But yeah, when will that happen, Ian? When will that?
They'll be open before us, mate. They'll be open before us.
Well, I think so. I think we'll be the last. We'll be the fucking last. Yeah. But yeah, so those would have been my fun things. Obviously I love going to the pub and whatnot, but I've like fucking tamed back my drinking an awful lot in the last wee while, because at the start of COVID I was just every weekend fucking dementedness. I turned my shed into a rave cave. So the garage in the house is a rave cave where I set up my decks and the speakers, and it's like a pub. You go in there and it's like, there's music going or whatever, and you get different music for different hours of the night, so you can have just like, it's just a regular pub, just playing 80s, 90s fucking rock tunes. Oh, fucking brilliant. And then later on it turns into like full on Rainbow Serpent bush stuff.
Dude, that's got to be a feature of the next, when we're allowed back into the gym again, that's got to be a feature of Jacked and Juicy, is when you're just spinning decks and getting people strong. Like that's like, what exercise class has a green screen where some dude's spinning decks and getting people strong? Like, like it sounds like F45, but like we'll grow big, bro. We'll like, when we're allowed in, I've set up my cameras, so like I've got like 2 cameras. I'll set it up. You'll have your decks. You'll be spinning, and you'll be like exercising and stuff.
Perfect. I love it.
That looked really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's been kind of some of the stuff. But I have, rather than everyone's getting into TV shows and binge watching TV shows, I don't like binge watching. I miss the day where one episode of something will come out a week and you just watch it like on a weekly basis, just one episode. So instead of watching TV shows, I'm watching movies. So each night at 8 o'clock, I park myself on the couch and I'm fucking right. What's the movie tonight? So it'll be anything from fucking Mighty Ducks to Forrest Gump to fucking How to Lose a Guy in 10 weeks or 10 days. All just whatever. And I put it up on social media and I ask people for suggestions, and like people fucking give me good suggestions. So pretty much been hitting a movie a night most nights, just to chill out. And yeah, like I really like when I'm training. I get to train pretty consistently at the moment and eat like a fucking animal, so making the gains, yeah, that's always fun. But to do as I said earlier on in the chat, doing my daily cracks and walking from my house, it's about a 10-minute walk down to the river where I'm just underneath the Westgate Bridge. I fucking love going down there and just sitting and just like doing my daily crack and just sitting for a while, just watching the water. I fucking like that. Just a little bit of
spearfishing, brother.
Well, yeah, we'll have. Yeah, no, fucking, you're always on to me about doing that. I will. I'll do it someday. I will do it someday. I'll just be like, yeah.
Dude, when it's something about being in the water, not having any cell phones. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you sit out and look at the water. I'm in the water shooting fish, and like you'll have like. Like sometimes you'll sit there and there's something about the sun being on you that you'll just lose sense of time. Every time I'm in the water, it feels like an hour. I've been in there for like 3 hours. I'm just like, this is the best. So, and it's just in Williamstown. You've got you're in that 5K radius where you can just hit Willie. So good.
Yeah.
And you get some food.
Yeah. How long have you been? Have you been doing spearfishing for like ages? Have you always done it? Because I know.
Nah, it was only since like a year ago. So, yeah. But you just get. I think when I started doing it, I realized that I didn't have any meditative practice where I was losing sense of time. Like I didn't have anything. Like if you do something that you love, that's fun. Like I don't think training really counts because you can't lose track of time in training, but when you go for a hike and you kind of, that can be quite fun when because you say to someone, oh, we're going for a hike, it's going to be 3 hours. You're like, ugh. But then when you do it, it doesn't feel like that because you're so much, there's kind of stimulus, but it's not. And that was the same with spearfishing. Is when I started doing it, my cousin was like, hey, come do spearfishing. And I was like, oh yeah, sick, shooting fish, guns in the water, the bomb. But then he was like, yeah, it's going to take, we're going for 3 hours. And my initial reaction was like, fuck that. Like I have too much stuff to do. I wasn't busy. I was on holiday in Adelaide. And then we went, and then like 3 hours just went like that. And I was like, oh, this is what it means to have some sort of, like, it's really important, I think, for people to have that practice, like where you lose sense of time. So it could be like sports goes for an hour, but I never really look at time when I'm doing sports. You do the warm up, you do the game, and before you know it, your hour's done and you're fucked. That's the same with spearfishing. Like I've done 6 hour sessions in the water, and it's and wanted more. And that's why I kind of I need that at the moment, because it's like you're just sitting there, just almost like watching paint dry. That's what COVID kind of feels like sometimes. And that's why I've had to that's why even the streaming sessions are good for me, because there's time in the day where I'm just focused on making sure that stream goes really well. Like, because there's so much shit happening that I'm like, that you lose sense of time. Like that, that the hour that I'm doing prepping for the stream, the half an hour we're doing it, it's kind of time that feels lost to me, which is good. Like I don't like kind of just sitting there, just kind of going, and that, yeah. So spearfishing. Sorry, I kind of jumped on your thing, but you'll love it.
Yeah, no, that's good. Just what you've said there, you've sold me on it. It's that loss, just allowing yourself to lose time. Because I feel that when I'm training, I'm thinking of the next thing I need to be doing, what I need to be doing at work or whatever, and you don't get that from training. And
it's like when you're at a dance party.
You took the words out of my mouth. The only time I've lost time is lately when I'm demented at the weekend around my house. You look at the clock and it's like, it's 11 o'clock, and then you turn around and you look back again and it's like 5 a.m. You're like, what? Where the fuck did that time go? And that's kind of been my only escape from my own head in the last while. But being at a rave and stuff like that, where you're just going to the music and you're just in tune with the music, you're not even fucking thinking about anything else. That's the tits right there. But finding that on just in your daily routine, I think is essential.
Dude, it's so good. It's how I've been doing a lot of workouts actually. It's how I kind of make the sandbag workouts out. I'm trying to make them like their little problems. So like today's problem, check this out. Like, I just say it so you can give it a go. But it was, you had to do like 5 presses, or 10 presses with the sandbag. Then you threw it onto the tire. You grabbed the straps around the tire, you dragged it, but the tire has a rope behind it. Yeah. So it drags the rope out, and then you pick up the sandbag off the tire, walk it back, throw it down, and then you like pull the rope, and then the next person goes. So it's like this. Do you remember that tribal clash? That problem? Yeah. So I'm trying to make like exercise problems, and I just go, you go, I go with Loz. And I've just called them like sandbag 30s, where we just do an AMRAP sandbag workout. But the sandbag, like, it's kind of like this intricate system of movements. It's real good.
Yeah.
And you just go like 30 minutes, and before you know it, you're like, everything kind of links together. It's real good. I'll have to set one up for you when we're allowed to back together.
Mate, that sounds so good, because that is basically, using your head for your exercise, and being challenged in different ways, that it's not just a fucking grab a bar and go and just you mindlessly move, but that you actually have to physically and mentally engage in what you're doing. And that's what I loved about Tribal Clash, because that's exactly what it was. It's like, okay, you're going to be working for 12 minutes, but this is the process. You need to figure this shit out on the fly, and you ain't thinking about anything else but figuring that shit out. It's good.
Yeah, that's good. Like that's what I loved about it. That teamwork component to that Tribal Clash workout, it was amazing. Like, that was the best team comp that I've ever done, like, hands down. I wish they did it in Melbourne. Well, I don't think that shit's going to happen again, but fuck, it was the bomb. It was so good.
Yeah, I know. I think that this COVID thing, because they relied on being able to go to different places around the world in order to do it and transport stuff. So their company at the moment is fucked. unfortunately.
Up. Manta bags. Manta clash.
Yeah, yes. Manta equipment clash. Yeah. Fucking oath. I'm on for that.
The Manta warrior clash.
There you go. Well, right, Mr. Alex, we have done. I don't know how long we've
Hour
done.
10.
We've done a fair bit of chatting there, and I think for our inaugural podcast, and we were quite tame. There was no controversial stuff to spoke about yet.
I don't do controversial, bro. I'm vanilla as.
That's all right. Don't worry.
I've got my plant. My vanilla plant.
I love it. That's perfect. I got my psychedelic lion in the background.
Just kind of balance each other out.
Absolutely. But listen. Let's wrap it up at that, and see where we go from here.
Excellent.
What do you think?
Excellent. I think good. I quite enjoyed that. Thank you. I like that you came up with topics that we could talk about, because I think the last time that we did it, we just I think we were at Williamstown just talking shit about partying, which was good too. But the topics,
it was good too. Yeah. I definitely think having a few topics to delve into is good, and then let the conversation go whatever way it fucking wants to go, and just take it from there.
Every Friday.
Well, listen, at the moment, let's just fucking do it whenever we get time and just pop them up. I'm not nailing us down to anything. This is new to us. I have to figure out now how to edit this stuff in together and then put it on the interwebs for people to hear. But we will do it.
See you next Friday.
Fuck you, Alex. We will aim to do one a week for sure. But anyway, we'll wrap it up at that. And boys and germs, giddy up.
Friday 10:30.
Fuck you. I hope you enjoyed the Craic Pit.
See you, dude.